This year they had another horror movie that should have made the list, The Last Exorcist Part 2, but it just was bumped out by these films here. So here we go. Number 10, Grown Ups 2. Needless, nothing else more to say about Grown Ups 2. It's played out more like Smurfs 2. It was just ridiculous. The first one was ridiculous with slapstick comedy. This slapstick comedy wasn't even funny. I mean, you got Nick Swartzen in the movie, and he's not even funny. It's just disgusting. They just said, okay, let's just make it more disgusting to try to appeal to the younger audience, and the younger audience is like, ugh, this is disgusting. Old people doing this, you know, it's just like everything that their audience that they had in the first film who liked Grown Ups just dissolved when it came to Grown Ups 2. Grown Ups 2 was horrible. And number 9, White House Down. One of the most racist, prejudiced movies I've ever seen. You got Jamie Foxx playing, supposed to be your Barack Obama, the president. All he talks about is basketball and all these references about his shoes, and people want to kill him because of his politics, and you deserve to die. Look, the guy who made these disaster films, you know, he obviously has a problem with America and politics, and he just wants to see it all crushed, and he getting paid off of America. So he can get another dime from me until he makes a good movie. Number 8, A Good Day to Die Hard. It should be called A Good Day to Go Jerk Off, because you would rather do that than watch this film. It's terrible. Terrible. Terrible movie. Here you got Bruce Willis, who decides, I'm not going to be John McClane, I'm going to be me. That'll be a different. So you got him going around town, blowing up everything in sight, stealing cars, running into cars off bridges, and just tearing up everything in sight, and he bumps into his son. You know, and it's, hey, you know, I'm looking for you. It's Bruce. You know that crazy grin he gives? Like, I know something you don't, and he really doesn't. And you got an uneventful enemy. They go into the Chernobyl warehouse where it's chemical, radiation still there, but won't affect me. I'm John McClane. We're going in. Me and my boy. That doesn't even get explained. I don't think there was a hand-to-hand fight in this entire movie. It was bad. Number 7, Scary Movie 5. Sketch and spoof comedies. I mean, the scenes that they were making fun of weren't even funny. And when they tried to do it, it really was terrible. It's just like, what were they thinking? It's like they should have killed this franchise after the 3rd one. But they keep going. I don't know who keeps showing up to these films, but somebody need to slap them and say, look, they've been bad. The last 3 definitely have been bad. We need to stop. But as long as stupid people going, they're going to keep making Stupid Movie 5 and Stupid Movie 6. But number 6 is the RIPD, the Rest in Peace Department. I feel bad for Ryan Reynolds, but I kind of don't, because he has the best agent in Hollywood. He keeps giving him starting roles in movies. I don't know how this happens. I mean, I can't blame this on him, but this is the one that you turn down right at the door. But I guess if you got nobody else knocking, this is it. And this movie is a bootleg Men in Black. Men in Black isn't good. So if Men in Black isn't good, what do you think this movie's going to be? This movie was terrible. Terrible. Absolute junk. And you had an uneventful enemy. First it was a blind enemy, then the world's gonna end. And to make it worse, you get the dude who comes in here. And I'm like, oh gosh, don't tell me he's finna come in here and ruin the whole thing. Jeff Bridges comes in there still in his true grit form. This cowboy hat and this beard that's in the way of his words. while he's eating pistachios. And couldn't understand a word he was saying. Number 5, movie 43. Movie 43. Oh my gosh, what's there to say about movie 43? Nothing. It was sketch comedy at its worst. Who thought that these sketches were funny? I think they grabbed the celebrities, and why they had them for the time they did, the celebrities went in and gave these type of performances. That was just terrible. Terrible. And I guess somebody thought it would be a great idea to put all these actors in a movie. They don't work. None of them do. I've never seen one with a big cast that work. From Valentine's Day to New Year's Eve, they just don't work. They're piles of crap that we got to step on and hopefully stop going to see. Number 4, Getaway. Selena Gomez. And you want to get away after watching this. I did not watch this at the show. I did not watch this on video. It's already on cable. That's how you know it's bad. This thing rushed from video to cable faster than anything I've ever seen. And it was kicked out the theater in like about a week. Why? Because it seemed like when you're watching this film, you're watching people going to work. You're not seeing a movie. You're seeing like, okay, yeah, this is a bad set day for them. She doesn't look like she's into it. Ethan's in it today, but she's not. And then you're like, okay, this where all the directions, everybody focused on this car crash scene and these explosions. Yeah, that was a good day for the explosion team. They got it something good today. Wonder what she's gonna come in with us tomorrow. And she's trying today, but she's not hitting the mark, and they're just still rolling. Yeah, and that's how it was. I mean, when you look at this movie, that's all you see. This movie was uneventful. You don't care about any of the characters. Ethan Hawke has to drive. This guy's kidnapped his wife, and he wants him to make these runs, or he's gonna kill his wife. Then Selena Gomez was jumping in the car trying to steal the car. Now she's part of the deal. It's terrible. You don't want to do it, so stay away from Getaway. Number 3, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. This is lined up to be a sequel to the original, and it starts off great. It does. It starts off great. It's wonderful. The way they blended the old movie to this one, it made sense. Then they get the time frames wrong. I'm like, okay, if that movie was back before I was born. So if she was the baby who they trying to make that it was a baby that was saved, the baby would not be in the 20s. Okay? The baby would not be in the early 20s. That baby would be about 40 years old. Okay? Because that baby was older than me. So I'm not understanding this at all. And to top that off, they said, let's go get all these eye candy actors we can and non-actors. They throw Trey Songz in there. Then they put the girl that was in what was that big boob girl from what's that, Hall Pass, the teenage tall girl with big boobs. So they threw her in there, and they showing this other girl, and they shot it the same way as the original Texas Chainsaw back in the 70s when they were wearing the little low cuts and the camera was like all on their butt, because that's what you used to focus on in the horror movies back then. So this director decided he was going to go back to the essence, but it was too much, and then there was no continuity, and the script was terrible. You have Leatherface in the basement of a mansion living there, and somebody's leaving a note saying, hey, look out for your cousin, he's living in the basement. And oh, she forgets to read the note. She travels thousands of miles to get there to not read the note left by her dead aunt, who willed her this house. Are you kidding me? Moving right along is the number 2 worst movie of the year, The Host. The Host was absolute garbage. That Stephanie whatever her name, who made Twilight, decided to try to steal some more money I gotta have more money coming in. Oh, they're gonna like this. They like Twilight. We didn't like Twilight. It was just that we were stuck because we went and saw it and had to watch it out to its entirety to its end. Unfortunately, you stole a lot of money. Be happy. Go into the Twilight. Do not come back with this garbage. And she did. The Host, a movie where these aliens have taken over all humans and they get in our system and now they control our bodies and now they're running the planet and there's not too many humans left. And this one girl, she's fighting the Host. Host has gotten inside of her, and now her boyfriend don't recognize her no more, and she's fighting with the Host on the other side, and her and the Host girl becomes friends now, and now she likes the Host that's taking over her body, and now the little Host girl, she likes another guy. So now it's two guys and it's one girl and two people inside one body, and it's so stupid. And I had to watch that garbage. Terrible. Tell you what, it was a scene. I was there to see another movie and the Host was playing. I was at the ticket booth. The two guys came in and said, let us get the ticket for the Host. Two dudes. They go in there. 10 minutes later, they come right back and says, can you give us another movie to see? Anything else. Anything else. They didn't care what it was. That's how bad the Host was. And the #1 worst movie of the year of 2013, Spring Breakers. No. And I'm going to say something that I forgot to say during the other video, and I'm glad I have a chance to redo it here. Spring Breakers, I'm going to tell you why some people say, oh, it was great. Those people were paid. All these Roper reviews, all these other guys, they're paid in like the boxing world. How people give favors to certain writers, like we'll give you certain interviews, we give you certain credentials. Some of these writers, they live for that stuff. Like be nice to us on this review, be lenient, and we'll take care of you on this one. So they write good reviews just so that they would be enlightened when some bigger movie come out, they won't be forgotten about. Same instance here with these reviews of Spring Breaker. Fortunately for me, I don't have to deal with anyone. I can say what I want about the movie honestly. It is garbage. Complete garbage from beginning to end. When it starts off, you see these girls, these spring breakers, their whole life. Like, we got to get out of this town. We got to go to spring break. And once again, Selena Gomez is in it. And she's in there in body because spiritually she's not. And she's like really not into the girls, really. You could tell. There's no chemistry at all with them. It's like these girls bond. Selena Gomez is just there. So the other two girls decide they're going to go rob a store and get the money. And now they all can go to spring break. They got the money now. Yay. So the spring break forever. Something stupid. So they all go to spring break. They're all getting wild without getting wild. It's like the PG-13 version of wild. It's just like, we're going to do this and this and this. And then these other people are getting buck wild. Like, there's sex that goes on in spring break. And they're not involved in any of it, but they acting like they're involved in it. They're just like making out through spring break and drinking, while Selena Gomez is there like, yeah, drink. It's so phony, and then they get arrested for something stupid that they had nothing to do with, really, that they wouldn't have went down for had this movie been anything real. And here comes the performance of a lifetime by James Franco, who plays like this Paul Wall type rapper down at spring break with cornrows and tattoos and grills, called Alien. You couldn't think of a rap name for this guy, or a name? His name would just be Alien. And he's supposed to be a drug dealer, of course, and he do robberies, and then he convinced the girls, like, yeah, we're going to rob these spring breakers and get all this money and live. Wow. It's just so stupid. Even Selena everybody gets on the bus and get out of the movie. when they leave too. All these girls who they decide they've had enough spring break, and they get on the bus, and then you don't see them no more through the movie. Selena Gomez, before all of this robbery and all this stuff took place, she was out of the movie in like 45 minutes. She's just like, okay, this is much of my time I can give. I'm gonna get on the bus, and y'all wave, and I go bye-bye. And I wanted to get on that bus and get out of this theater. The movie's terrible, and to cap it off, they put Gucci Mane in there as the other like villain. Tells you how terrible this movie was going. And he was about as vested as I am. Worst movie of the year. Worst movie of the year. Guaranteed. I didn't enjoy this movie at all. It's just terrible. Terrible chemistry. The only one that did his job was James Franco. And then I say two of the girls. Besides that, the rest of the movie, nobody put any forth of effort to try to make this thing work. It was terrible. Don't see it. I don't even want you to see it to prove me wrong. It's horrible.